While some have sympathised with Lewis Hamilton and his ongoing issues due to the bouncing of the 2022 cars, others have taken a more critical view of it. Retired F1 driver Ralf Schumacher is one of them, and he has now explained his views to Sky Germany. I'm your host, Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Lewis Hamilton comes under heavy criticism. Ralf started off by comparing Lewis to his teammate George Russell. Lewis Hamilton is the big loser of the season so far. George Russell was new to the team at the start of the season and has been usually ahead and is also stronger in qualifying. He then added that it is quite worrying for Lewis. The greatest of all time, as Mercedes team boss always calls it, is ironed out by a newcomer in a way that is already worrying. He then made a few strong statements. I'm amazed because there are only two options. Either Russell is the new high flyer, or Hamilton had such a strong car in recent years that has made up for a lot. He signed off by addressing Hamilton's back issues. Russell was in the same car and George looked rather fresh to me after the race. Lewis should first see that he is faster than his teammate. I'm sorry for Lewis that he has a backache, but other teams are tackling the problem as well. Fast feed. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz is not really thinking about the championship. In that sense, my approach has changed a little bit because it is true that with my 0 points finishes, I am far behind in the World Championship. That hurt, and from that moment on, I prefer not to think about the championship. Lewis Hamilton revealed that George Russell didn't have the same bouncing that he did in Baku. He had a lot less bouncing. I had an experimental part on the car and a different rear suspension. Ultimately, it was the wrong one. Alpine's reserve driver Oscar Piastri will test the 2021 Alpine at Silverstone. Ferrari team principal Mattia Binotto admitted that they had reliability issues in Baku. Charles' start was not perfect. We had an issue with the pit stops. We had different issues at the last event, so there is still much to progress. AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly confided that the bouncing is not healthy, that's for sure. I've had a physio session before and after every session just because my spinal discs are suffering from it. You have literally no suspension. It just hits going through your spine. Is Ralf Schumacher's criticism of Lewis Hamilton warranted? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.